G'day guys, it is the coach here. I hope you are all extremely excited. We are on the eve or 15 to 20 minutes now from the upcoming Warhammer previews. It's good to see everyone here in the chat. I'm just going to go through and see and call out some peeps. We've got, Jess in the house. G'day. We've got 9-inch Dan. We've got Tuan going on. Hopefully something worth staying up till 5 or 6 a.m. So guys, it is currently 12:30 in the morning for me. So got plenty of people here. G'day. And I'm excited. It's going to be a Age of Sigma reveal show. So everything that we know is coming up in the Warhammer preview is going to be Aegis Sigma orientated, either through Warhammer Quest, through Underworlds, or actually Aegis Sigma. So we are currently, as I mentioned, about half an hour from the first reveal. So what we will do, if this is the first time you've joined, technically this is the second time I've done this, but what I will be doing is I'll be switching over to the actual Warhammer stream. And what I'll do is when they actually have something comes up, I'll bring it up. We can kind of watch and see what was revealed, and then we can kind of discuss it as a community. So I hope you guys stay, bring your ideas. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'd be curious to start thinking about, we've had a whole bunch of preview images over there. Some are looking quite interesting. I think when I look at this, there's a couple of things, whether it's going to be the one that's on the far right is looking very Blood Knighty to me. I don't know what you guys think, and maybe let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. What you think these are going to be, but we've got what I think looks like a Blood Knight, or at least a White King. At least looks like a new White King. We've got something a bit spooky below it. So under the 1 to go, the 5 to go, and there was a Warhammer reveal, a rumor engine some time ago that had like a skull, and it had like some flames or some type of ethereal type of spirit coming through it, and it kind of looks like the bottom of the hand. So I'm curious to see if that's going to be some type of, I don't know, if it's going to be a vampire or some type of support character from Warhammer Quest. The middle ones kind of catch me off. I'm not quite sure what that middle one is. Again, could be a vampire, could be either Warhammer Quest, or it could be our Grave Lords, our Soulblight Grave Lords, and then the other two on the left. So before I kind of start talking about that, I can see a whole heap of cool people in the house. I've got War Machine, I've got the Phoenix Kelly, I've got Levy, g'day from SA. Oh, you're up late too. My man Wist. I've got Gob in the house. I've got plenty of cool people here. Lots of cool people joining us quite early. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It is currently 12:30 in the AM. So I'm going to be tired, but hey, I've got a cool show to talk about. I want to see the Age of Sigma reveals, and I don't have to make up stuff about 40k. I don't play 40k. It's been a long time, and in the last reveal, I had to kind of make some things up. Luckily, I think we saw some Sisters of Battle, which I kind of knew about. Donnie, hello. Lots of cool people. It's only 9:30 for Donnie. Damn you. But it is 2:30 in the PM for the Germans. So wunderbar. Craig's thinking it is a plastic black knight. I was kind of teasing Craig a bit earlier in a group chat, thinking maybe it's going to be the re-release of the Dragon Princes, the High Elves, because that was a very popular model for people to convert into new Blood Knights. So g'day from Thailand, or I think my old Thai from 10 years ago was Swadika, Kapunka. I don't know how well that translates. It's been a while since I've been to Thailand, but I love Thailand. G'day, Victor. While everyone kind of Charles thinks it's a White King, not a Blood Knight. Yeah, that was kind of my thought. It kind of looked like there was an old metal White King that was on like a skeleton steed that was around I don't know if it's still around. I don't think it is, but it was an old metal model, and that was the first thing I thought about. But maybe it's a Blood Knight. Who knows? G'day, Matt, and well, I'm glad you caught us live, because this is going to be it's an all-nighter for me, so I'll stay up. I'm going to get a little bit of sleep before I actually catch up with Domus to talk about how to run a grand tournament or a match play event. So there'll be a cool show in about 12 hours from now about tournament organizing. So what I might do is I might talk about the other two things that maybe I would like to hear what you guys think what we're going to do. So I think the top left, if any of these are going to be a reveal, the top left for me is looking very orky. Reminds me very much of the Underworlds Warband. If I bring that up, it reminds me of this orc. I don't know what you guys think, but that to me is looking very orky. Maybe like a shaman, some type of war chanter, some type of bone splitter character. So to me, that one is an interesting one. And I saw the bottom left is one that kind of caught me off guard, and it kind of certainly looks like a Stormcast. And there's a picture of a Stormcast model, and I've got it as a, bear with me for 1 second. Let me bring up something else I prepared earlier. So something else I prepared earlier was a bingo card. Yes, I have a bingo card that we can play around with to see what are we going to get? Are we going to see a new army? Is it going to be an endless spell? Are we going to see Ossiarch Bone Reaper Warband? Are we going to see a Black Library book? Are we going to see a Deepkin Warband? You guys can read this. I don't have to read it all out to you, but there's a whole bunch of cool things we can play along as we go. Aethercast, have you missed anything? No. So the first reveal, so Warhammer TV will kick off in about 10 minutes. They'll just talk shop, and they'll kind of just bring up the audience and just get people excited and ready. But normally the first drop will happen at the hour. So that is 24 minutes from now that we'll see the first reveal. And as I previously mentioned, what we'll do for anyone who is joining us for the first time is I will switch between the live streams. So I'll bring up the preview. We can watch the video together. We can discuss. We can kind of see what it's all about, and then I can mute Peachy or Nick or whoever's kind of talking, and we can talk about the reveal and talk about what we've seen and maybe the impacts to the game. Do we like the model or models? Whatever the reveal is going to be. So that's kind of how we're going to do this. But in the meantime, let's bring up the bingo card. So who else have we got in the chat? Lots of cool people. G'day, Autumn. Nice to see you, Barney. Aethercast, is it a drinking game? You can drink. I'm it's a bit late for me, and I'm sure my wife's not going to appreciate me stumbling into bedrock. But you do you. You do you. Lots of cool people. A lot of people are comparing Stormcast, and there's this one here. This is a Guardius Steel Soul, and there's a particular image. I think it comes off the Josh Reynolds Plague Garden book. There's a particular Stormcast hero. It's been around for a long time. From I can't remember what chamber it's from. I'm sure you guys can all jump in. But this particular Guardius Steel Soul looks eerily very familiar to what looks like a Stormcast preview image before the stream. So there could be some Stormcast stuff coming, whether that particular model is tied to Broken Realms, whether it's going to be a new Battletome for Stormcast. It's been a long time. I know we used to joke about it. Anyone who's OG, you would remember that we would laugh that a Stormcast would get a book every 6 months, and it was like that for some time. But we haven't had a Stormcast book since 2018. So who knows? Maybe this is going to be a new Stormcast book. Maybe it's just a new model that's tied into Broken Realms. But It's great to see so many people in the chat. No negativity here. I mean, look, you can be constructive. Let's not look, if we don't like something, let's be constructive about it. But Hallowed Knights is what people are telling me. Thank you, Hawkeye. So Goddess Steel Soul was from the Hallowed Knights. Of course, only the faithful. So who knows? So what do you guys think we're going to see? I'd be curious to kind of get an idea of what you guys are expecting. I've put some of the things that I would like to see in the bingo card, whether it's going to be an updated zombie kit. I'd love to see more of the Luminous Realm Lords. We're obviously going to see some vampires. Well, I'd like to see some vampires. Will we see anything about Warhammer Old World, whether it's going to be 3rd edition Aegis Sigma? Will we see more of the models from the good guys or the bad guys from Warhammer Quest? Will we see terrain? Will we see Kernothi? We saw the Archer Lady, the very, very cool Archer Lady, the Kernothi that's going to be a part of the Underworld's Warhammer Quest. Will we see more of the Kernothi? Will we see different warbands? I know we've kind of got a timeline of warbands coming, and let me flick it over. We've got so we've obviously had Chaos that's come up. We've had Seraphon. We've got what appears to be Soulblight. We then have the Bone Splitters that we're kind of starting to see slowly. We can only assume, actually I might make this a bit bigger. I can only assume that the next one is Ossiarch Bone Reapers. I have seen some people kind of making some assumptions or some kind of links that that particular model might be a liege from the Immortus, or the big 6-arm dudes or 4-arm dudes. You can see how much I really like my OBR. And if Craig's in the chat, he can tell me the name. But we have seen the axe. We have seen that axe previewed in a rumor mill. So I'm excited. And then that June one basically is Idoneth Deepkin, unless there's something that we're missing that looks Idoneth Deepkin. So maybe we'll see the next Underworld's Warband up until June. Who knows? But what do you guys think? So let me have a look. So Donnie is thinking we'll see a squig. Yeah, absolutely. Give me more squigs. We haven't seen anything for Grots for a while. We've had some stories about the Gits. We've got no Broken Realm. We have got no. I can see Scragrot the Loon King being a part of some type of like Broken Realms Gordrak. So yes, more squigs. Indeed, only the faithful. And if it wasn't basically 1 o'clock in the morning, I would probably scream it, but my wife would probably stab me in my sleep. So I won't be doing that. Hello Night, yes, absolutely. Gobbo, it's 10 a.m. somewhere. You guys want to drink? You guys can drink along. Won't they be getting a book for this Broken Realms? Possibly. I mean, if we're talking Stormcast here, I'm not sure quite, what you're talking about, which particular army, but Stormcast are definitely getting love through the Broken Realms. Will they be the protagonist? Will we see Broken Realms Stormcast? Probably not. Will we see Broken Realms, Alariel, Nagash, Gordrak, something like that? Very possible. I am so excited, Aussie. I can't believe Space Marines aren't getting new models. They probably are, just not in this reveal. So I'll be super happy not to have to talk about 40k. If you like 40k, I'm not having a go at you. It's just not my cup of tea, and there's only so much pretending I can make up on a live stream. Hippie, you have not missed anything. We're about 15 minutes now from the actual live stream. So we'll start to see the reveal, and I'll actually switch over pretty soon so we can kind of keep an eye on Peachy or whoever is our guest today. But let me also know, guys, what do you guys want to see? What are you hoping for? Which armies do you think we're going to preview? Do you think it's going to be the obvious? I have a sneaking feeling that we might see some fine cast models updated, whether it's going to be something like Valkyrie or Be'lakor, or I know anyone who follows Warhammer Total War can probably know that Be'lakor is going to be a part of the Total War 3. So I'm wondering if Be'lakor or some type of Chaos is going to get some new models that might tie into that. So fingers crossed. Ruiz has got some stickers from me. Awesome. Glad the stickers came in. A bear eater model. Yeah, okay. I'm down for that. I would like kangaroos. I want kangaroos. I really want kangaroos, and I actually want them on the shelves ASAP because it's holding up my army. So today I picked up my Slanesh. So I'm not doing Slanesh, but I picked up Slanesh models. So I'm converting I'm converting my Daughters of Cain to be very Slanesh corrupted. I cut off the head of Marathi today, and I put a big I put the claw actually off Glutos, the new chariot, that big palanquin, those two big beast guys, and there's one that has like a really cool kind of like claw. So I cut off Marathi and Heartrender to give her a claw, and I've been converting up my daughters to be Slaneshi. So but I want my palanquin to be pulled by kangaroo. So Gary, I absolutely want that to be hitting the shelves ASAP. The release date for Broken Realms Techless, I think at earliest, we're probably going to see it around this time next month, earliest, which sucks because Broken Realms Marathi came out in November. So what that means is it's been almost 5 months since we've had the next Broken Realms. And I think models and, just how the world has kind of tied up the book. But I think the next drop is going to be Kill Team. I think they're re-releasing Kill Team from what I'm hearing. So maybe we'll get it the next one, and it'll be a big drop. So fingers crossed. Those Space Marine players have been waiting a whole month for models. Oh, the salt, the sass. And I want to call this out. There's actually a really good comment from Craig. So Craig's in my gaming club, by the way, if you're wondering how I know his name. But the symbol on the axe of the OBR guy has the symbol in the Battletome of the Volmotorian, however it's spelt. I think Craig has misspelt it, so he expects me to pronunciate it. But basically, he's got this silhouette on the axe. So, and I think that's a part of a liege. So, could be some new OBR heroes. Didn't know if we're waiting to drink. You can drink. I'm not going to stop you. Absolutely not going to stop you. But I am absolutely excited. I think we're going to see some cool things. It's nice to have like an Aegis Sigma stream. I mean, people are thinking that we're going to get Aegis Sigma 3 sometime this year. I think, if anything, the pandemic has probably pushed it out to be like August, September. Normally, Games Workshop release their new games in June, July, because that's when their new financial year starts in June, and they like to start their year on a big high. And most games kind of come out in June, July. Or if they're really struggling for product, they'll bring it in May and kind of get that last boost into the profits. But I think the pandemic has probably pushed us out a little bit. So either we're going to get rapid fire Broken Realms, or we're probably going to be pushed out to August, September, October. So curious to see how this kind of goes. What does Anthony say? Along the same lines, the Myth Battletome. I think that I don't think you're getting a re-released Battletome for Lumineth. I think what you're going to see is the expansion of Lumineth through Broken Realms. So you'll get additional War Scrolls with Broken Realms Techless, and then combined, those two books will work together. I can't see them. I mean, I would have, yeah. I mean, considering Techless, Broken Realms, so considering Lumineth came out not so long ago, I think they're pushing it if they think they're going to re-release the Battletome. I hope. Asking you to update your Battletome within 12 months is a bit sketchy, but very interesting indeed, Bryant. We are indeed, Autumn, we are indeed live. So what I'll do is I'll switch it out. We're not ready just yet for the reveal. The reveal will happen in... The first reveal will happen in 12 minutes from now. So they'll go live. You guys can't hear the audio, can you? I will turn on the audio when we get close. So I'll bring up the audio. And then we'll have the community as well, so we can kind of bring up the community and kind of look at the articles and see what's going on. Cool. You're on mute. You guys can't hear, can you? I've just got to unmute, so just so there's not like 7 different voices talking to you. So we've got Eddie Eccles and we've got Adam Troke talking to us just about. They're just making stuff up. They're talking about color schemes and things. Nothing relevant just yet. They're just trying to build up their audience. Good for them. But what we'll do, guys, is we will look at the reveals. We will listen to what the guys have to say. Perfect. Thanks, Jess. I will turn on the sound when we get close, so we can just kind of balance that out. Perfect. Yeah, that's an interesting point, Hippie. There's Warhammer Weekly had made an announcement or a rumor saying that the Flesh Eater Court's Battletome is on restricted order, I think they said, and the endless spells were discontinued, which I don't think actually means that they're going to be discontinued. I think what's going to happen is potentially they're being reboxed. So for anyone who is old school like I am, so when I started playing Warhammer Fantasy Battles, vampires were all in a book called The Vampire Counts. And the Vampire Counts had 4 key bloodlines, just like you do now in Legions of Nagash. One of those bloodlines was called the Strigoi. Yeah, I think it was the Strigoi. And they were the ghoul type vampires. So you had the Blood Knight style, you had the Lamian, which is essentially Neferata and that kind of build. You had these wizardy type vampires, and then you had the Strigoi, and the Strigoi were the ghouls. And I wouldn't be surprised, because I've always been skeptical on how big this Gravelord's release is going to be. I've been really skeptical because because they've kind of got this Legions of Nagash, and if anyone watched my Warhammer Weekly discussion with Vince and Tom, I was skeptical how big they would expand the kits. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, okay, let's imagine they folded Flesh Eater Courts and Gravelords together. Let's say they kind of made Flesh Eater Courts one of the bloodlines. And I was thinking about the kits, and I was thinking about the Vargeist kit, which is already a Soulblight model. And in Flesh Eater Courts, you got the Vargeist and you got the Flayer, which is essentially the same kit, just minus a head swap. It's a bit of a small swap. And then I was thinking about the vampire on Terrorgeist or the vampire on Zombie Dragon, which is the exact same kit you would use for the Flesh Eater Courts to have your Ghoul King on Terrorgeist. So they're the same kit. And it kind of got me thinking when I heard that rumor, and I'd heard some other stories. They're actually, I could see legs. I could possibly see legs where the Flesh Eater Courts gets folded up into Gravelords, and we kind of see a separate bloodline. So what we've kind of seen, like the maybe Manfred looks after the Blood Knight side. You've got, the Oshoran or whoever looks after the Flesh Eater Courts, and then maybe anything in the middle is new. But Strigoi. That's all the names dropping. But yeah, who knows? That might just be a rumor. That might be legit. We just don't know. Let me just make this full screen. Cool. So we'll keep an eye on these guys. Actually. Perfect. Cool. You guys can't still hear it, but we'll be good. So what else do you guys think? Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. We've had in the last week or two, we've had Forge World Forge World is discontinuing a whole bunch of new models. So we've seen what's it called? The Rogue Idol. The Rogue Idol's been discontinued. We've seen the Chaos Dwarf line basically become discontinued and no longer available. So who knows what is going to happen with Chaos Dwarfs. What else have we got going on? Aethercast, if anyone's seen Van Helsing on Netflix, they have 2 styles of vampires, the Intelligent and the Ferals. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, in in Legions of Nagash, you've already got 4 bloodlines. And if you go back all the way back to the vampire counts back in Warhammer Fantasy, there's always been 4 bloodlines. You've had the warrior style, the Blood Knight style. I think they were originally called the Blood Dragons. You've always had like these vampires that have been based on speed. That was based on like Lamia, or New Lamia now. You've always had like the wizards, and the wizards were called Necrarch at the time. And it used to be a really cool like vampire mage. It was like a necromancer, but not as powerful as a necromancer. And he used to ride like a zombie dragon. So they've always had like these 4 bloodlines, and whether they consolidate them, whether they talk about the vampires of the coast. I know people were talking about vampirates and having like this undead piratey type army. I don't know. G'day, Sam. Hello. Lars, thank you so much. I'm better than the Twitch stream. I mean, hey, I'm not a paid employee, so although I do get 2 free Battletomes this week, so I'm probably not far away from sending my bank account. No, it's not like that at all. I do appreciate being sent the Battletomes early, and we can kind of talk about. I hope you guys, anyone who watched the stream, enjoyed the different take that I made on Daughters of Cain and Slaanesh. So hopefully, if Games Workshop continue to send me books in advance, I can do things like that and break it down and give you guys a different opinion to everyone else who might read the book or, you know, add their thoughts. Hope they hurry up and do the taxes soon. Isaac, go put in your taxes quickly, mate, because you're going to have to spend all your cash. I reckon this is going to be a sick release. It's going to be an absolutely sick release. Donnie thinks look, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I could definitely see Lumineth and Death getting some type of love here. Surely vampires are going to be a big feature headline. For anyone who hasn't seen these streams before, they normally do these 15-minute intervals. So we could probably see 4 to 6 reveals, depending on how late the stream goes. I could definitely see 4 to 6 reveals across the 3 different games. So we're going to see Warhammer Quest, we're going to see Underworlds, and we're going to see Aegis Sigma. So let's see how we go. Give me some Night Haunts. Oh, I'm not quite sure if you're going to get any Night Haunts, Justin. Maybe through Warhammer Quest. I haven't heard anything, but that's also not to say that. That's also not to say that I haven't. That they're not coming. Michael enjoyed the Slaanesh book. Cheers, mate. The Von Carsteins definitely could bring in some look. If you look at Legions of Nagash, Manfred and Neferata have the Soulblight keyword, so they might kind of tap into that, and Manfred kind of might fit into one of the 4, but who knows? No Warcry. No, there's no. So on the imagery that Games Workshop have shown, they've shown 3 logos, unless they updated it and have changed it. But the 3 logos that I had seen was Warhammer Quest, Underworlds, and Age Sigma. So let's see how we go. I might just test the audio here, guys. So I'm going to turn on the audio. Can a few people just give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down, or just some type of like message in the chat if you can hear? So I'll just turn on the audio.
We've got a couple of minutes yet, Adam. I think we're not.
Might just turn it up now.
In that case, let me. The other thing I'm doing with the Black Library.
Can you guys hear this?
Of interest. Those of you who follow our Warhammer TV slot here on Twitch regularly will no doubt be familiar with Nick Baton, one of our great presenters.
Cool. All right.
Is he in the chat? Well, hello, Nick.
I'll just mute them now. So they will start in about 2 or 3 minutes. So about 2 or 3 minutes, they will load up the first one, and then I'll just smash the unmute, and then we can talk about what we've seen. What do you guys think is going to come first? What do you think is going to come first? Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, guys. My first guess is we're going to see Underworlds, And I think we're going to see the Bone Splitters. I think we'll see more of the Bone Splitters because we've kind of seen one or two models. We saw Wolverine with his claws out, and then we saw the second one. Brian thinks we're going to see Curse City. I think there's going to be like middle. I reckon they'll like tease us a little bit because it's a big release. It's a very big release. All right, I'm just listening. Autumn's just noticed that Adam Troke has the same IKEA drawers. Yep, cool. Yep, that's a good one. I prefer the glass. Is it Detolf? Because I can make it 8 shelves. I can't wait. Just like I like you guys, but shut up. I want just reveal something already. Reveal it. I'm gonna go. Yeah. So I'm gonna put my stake in the ground, and I'm gonna say that we're gonna first see Bone Splitter, Underworld's Warband. That's my guess. That's my guess. Just because it's kind of. Just because we've seen so many images already, so it's like a slow burn. They're talking 40K. Why are they talking Magnus? This is go away. This is our stream. We got one stream like this year. Go away. Stop talking Magnus, guys. Magnus can wait for a while. Kevin said, Golbo, what's the big climax reveal? I'm gonna go Soulblight. Oh.
Proceed. I believe Raph is ready with the button.
All right, I think they're about to show something.
Our preview. Welcome to Lords of the Mortal Realms. Let's start with this.
Lyria Ulthra, Warden of Ametrica, by your shining lance do we part the sea of darkness. My star shards, with your mighty bolts, we cast down the faithless. My blade lords, blessed sword of the Venari, in your care we place our lives. My Lawseekers, cunning agents of knowledge, through your deeds we enlighten the realms. And Elania, my pupil, with your brother Elithor, favored of my twin, you set new heights for all Lumineth to aspire to. My people, with your combined might, judgment will be rendered. Together, we will pierce death's fell curtain and bring light.
Okay. All right. Well, let's use the chat. What did you see and what did you like? So we saw Luminous Realm Lords. We saw the second update to Lumineth. So we've seen the first reveal, which was the normal stuff. We've seen a whole host of additional stuff. We've seen the Kangaroo Riders. We saw Swordmasters. Well, I don't know if they're Swordmasters. Might just unmute.
With this next drop of miniatures and some absolutely glorious miniatures, and I think a beautiful mix of things that are kind of weird and wonderful.
We've got some
unique
Swordmaster style updated.
Kind of
I think we kind of saw some of those already in
the elven
Underworlds.
archetypes, maybe that we're familiar with from history. So the unit you're looking at right now,
just say Swordmasters, Eddie.
And
they're Swordmasters. They are updated Swordmasters.
Be familiar with the idea of a highly elite
the Lawmaster.
unit.
Yes,
with,
we saw a very
double-handed
Lawmaster
great swords, and these are very much the martial elite of the Elven forces. So
I was
the
excited
equivalent,
about
I suppose,
that
of your aspect warrior in
ballistas.
Warhammer 40,000. These are kind of honed blades.
That one surprised me.
Perfection, the kind
A
of
new
slice
terrain
arrows in
feature.
half as they shoot towards them, decapitate enemy generals, all that sort of cool stuff. So a very cool elite Elven unit there. Looking really kind of dynamic.
Yeah, they're looking good. They are looking very good, actually. No, so I was wrong. Bone Splitters was not where they're going. So what do you guys think about this? I quite like it. I like the twin model. Yeah, like what Levy said was I like the twin hero model. It kind of reminded me. It looks exactly like the Selesky from Slanesh. You know, you've got almost like there's a lot of Slanesh, and you kind of compare it with Lumineth, and there's a lot of parallels between the two, which is fantastic. Did they show the Cloud Mage? No, I don't think. Guys, did you see the Cloud Mage at all? I didn't see the Cloud Mage whatsoever. I saw Kangaroo Riders. I saw the Bolt Thrower. I saw the Swordmaster. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Swordmaster too, Autumn. I really like I like these helmets. I'm not gonna have a go at GW, but I hated those big horns. It's not for me. If they like you, awesome, good on you. But to me, they're mint. I'll just bring them up again. I really like them. You could either do them with heads or without heads. I love the dual wielding. Yeah, I dig this. I'm going to quickly mention, have we seen vampires yet? No, not yet. The stream has just started. I imagine the vampires will be probably the big reveal. I can see that being the big thing. Now this is boss. This is absolutely boss. This Bolt Thrower. I think anyone who plays High Elves back in the day would know. Yeah, it's a classic model that has been around for a long time in the High Elf range. The High Elf range would always have one or two Bolt Throwers on a hill. And it was always weird that Lumineth didn't have a Bolt Thrower. I thought it might be in Tyrion's side, but I really like this. I really like I think it's going to add a very interesting dynamic, but the challenge will be is that I'm already scared that you're going to have already 80 of the archers or, a big block of the archers plus a bunch of ballistas. So that could be quite brutal when it comes to shooting. What do you guys think? Elves without heads are best. Goblins eating elves. Yep. Yeah, a terrain piece. Oh, go back. Adam, go back. That terrain piece was fascinating. I wasn't expecting a Lumineth terrain piece. That one to me was a surprise. Brian, absolutely a Bolt Thrower. I think it's a solid Bolt Thrower. It's a nice update to the range. This thing is fascinating. Yeah, I'm with Jess here. This is stunning. I might unmute them. I want to hear what they say about this.
Chat have immediately picked up on it and been quite excited. I think it's beautiful. What have we got?
I think it's genuinely beautiful. This is a Luminous shrine. I think I'm
a Luminous shrine.
And this is absolutely a centerpiece for your army. It's a focal point of Haitian magic. And the idea in game terms is that you put your wizard at the center of this, and they can channel the power of the elements. And you can imagine the elemental forces of nature kind of swirling around.
So you put your wizard in
power
here.
Of the wind in the air, lifting the kind of mountainous structure.
So
it's got the water and the rivers flowing through it. You can imagine it buffeted by winds from all directions, and it's kind of a focal point of a natural energy within the realms of Haitian or elsewhere.
So
it's just a beautiful piece, isn't it? I mean, it's as something.
This is crazy. This is cool. This is
at the center of your army, even if you don't have any big.
This is lovely.
If you've gone for like an
very. I was not expecting Lumineth to get a terrain piece. I'll be honest. I didn't think they would get one
thing to put on the battlefield. Whether you use it as,
but this is very themed and
a piece of terrain or not, it's just a wonderful model to add to your collection.
Yeah. The chat pretty much universally agrees.
Yeah, this is crazy.
From the
Michael, really good point here. The Lumineth Balewind Vortex. That's kind of what it feels like, right? You have this big, high-mounted terrain piece or endless spell, and you get your wizard on top. And I wonder what effects it's going to do.
Okay, so this is the thing that most excited me. Who have we got?
So, Adam, I'm not even going to try for the name. I think you've got it in front of you at some point.
I'll read it as it's written. It is Lyria Ulthral, Warden of Ymetrica.
Yeah, so this is effectively Tyrion's right-hand man in the Mortal Realms.
Tyrion's right-hand man.
He's probably the most renowned of the generals of the Lumineth. He is famed in the Lumineth culture for being completely logical and taciturn, utterly ruthless in battle, and highly skilled at arms. So he's kind of your kind of one of the big players, basically, of the Lumineth heroes. This is an alternate build of the model that we maybe saw a few weeks and months ago. So there are two versions of building that kit.
So one of them is a standard You've got the
Lord's
standard
character,
and
one of them is
standard
this named
build,
character who
and then
is,
you've got this
one of
this
the big
alternate
movers
build,
and
which is
shakers
going to
of
be
the
the
Mortal
right
Realms,
hand man. So
yeah, absolutely. The lance is called Demon Bane, which maybe gives you an idea of where
the
his
Demon Bane, so it might do
sensitivities
additional
are like.
mortal wounds. It might
he's riding a light
reroll
courser steed called
reroll attacks
Fariel,
against demons or something.
and it looks so elegant and cool. They
Hot take,
continue to
giving
amaze me
Lumineth
what they're
new
producing
stuff
for
and
these
terrain is going to
sort of the
make
mounts
them
and the
win
steeds
more
that the Lumineth
faction.
use.
I think that's one of my favorite things about the Lumineth Force generally is the kind of weird and wonderful creatures that accompany them.
Yeah.
They have a kind of very archetypal elven aesthetic, but then the extra weirdness and wonderfulness of the Mortal Realms is brought to life in the kind of
I really like
magical creatures
these
that they have
Lumineth. I
accompanying
think
them, similar to
some
the
of
way, I
the
suppose,
some of the
Stormcast
first
and some of the
range
other
was kind of
armies in
the
Lumineth
again,
seem
the
to get some of the best
cowhead
creatures,
ones were a
in my
bit
opinion.
kind of
you're not
odd
wrong.
to me. I'm very classic
Raph,
with my
slightly
elves.
keen
I'm
to
not an
keep
elf
moving,
player.
has
I
shown
don't
us the
have
next
high
thing,
elves.
which is a
But to me,
Cenari
this feels like
Lawseeker,
a
which,
very
as I understand,
updated
is
high
both
elf range.
like a leader model,
Like
a
if I was
decent
picking
warrior
up this army
and
for the
a
first
wizard.
time,
Is
and
that
I
right?
did love
that
Lord
is
of the
absolutely
Rings, I
true.
loved.
So many of the Lumineth units are wizards.
Might just mute me there. If I was a high elf player, or if I loved my Lord of the Rings, and I was looking at an army, and I picked up this, I think I'd be very happy. I really like it. They're very dynamic. They are okay. So what they've just said is this guy is the Lawseeker, and he has a staff that is similar to Teclis's sword. A staff, and then the sword is very similar to Tyrion's staff, and he is an artifact collector. So, okay, interesting. So he's an artifact collector, so going around collecting all the artifacts to make sure they don't go into the wrong hands. What base size is that character knight? Maybe 60 mil oval, maybe. I'd have to have a look. Wisdomore saying that, I agree. I think these models will have a bigger splash. I'll unmute this one.
So I do. I've cheated, and I've got a sheet with some cheaty notes. These are, forgive me, whoever wrote the names if I say them wrong, Eliana and Elithor, Eclipsian War Sages, and they are, as I understand it, a pair of twins. One of each has been sort of chosen by Tyrion and Teclis.
That is absolutely true. So these are the rising stars of the Lumineth faction at the moment. So if you remember, Tyrion and Teclis way back in the world that was, were very much this kind of young twins who kind of came to prominence and harnessed their various skills and were kind of the epitome of excellence within their particular expertise. This is exactly what's true of these people as well. So the mage there, the sister, has been chosen by Teclis and looks to be the most promising young mage in the Mortal Realms, really. And then I'm
just going to bring up and see what Warhammer Community
again,
has
the masterful swordsman who has already defeated most great champions of the Lumineth in ritual duels of various sorts. And you can see it in the way that those models are kind of the iconography on them. They are Eclipsian battle sages, I think you said. And the eclipse basically refers to the fact that one of them is the sun and one of them is the moon. So the moon is the aspect of Teclis, the sun is the aspect of Tyrion, and you can imagine them fighting as a kind of perfect union of the two.
I'm going to show you guys
they
this. Okay, I'm just going to stop this stream for a sec. I'll just mute them. And I'm going to swap this out because you're going to be surprised, maybe surprised, but we have a new Battletome. So what I said about them being updated in Broken Realms Teclis, I am 100% wrong here because we have a new Battletome. What do you guys think about that? Anyone who's picked up maybe the limited edition Battletome? Fascinating, interesting. Now, I think I can't remember who said it before earlier. Yeah, there's a new Battletome. That's not Broken Realms Teclis. That is a completely new Battletome. So So we've got the new range. So what I wonder, and I can only assume that this new Battletome will replace the last Battletome. Surely we're not going to have 2 Battletomes. You're not going to have to carry 2 Battletomes. Surely. Fingers crossed. But I can see here a few of you are surprised and probably not surprised. But has it been? No, it's probably about 9 months. When did original Lumineth came out? About April, May. So we're kind of 9 to 12 months here. That on one side, yay, new models. Other side is, I hope this book is awesome and justifies updating. So I think this is 2. I guess I'm wondering, will the original Lumineth book be replaced? Or as a player, will I have to carry around 2 different Battletomes? I think that's the question I want to ask. What's Twitch saying? We got the Wind Mage. We have the Wind Mage. Just actually, I might just close that for a sec, because I can actually bring up the models here. So we've got. So you haven't seen that one just yet. We're now seeing this one. So I might just zoom in a little bit. So somebody did ask me earlier about, have we seen the Cloudman? And I know we kind of saw it in the New Year's release, but we have now got a copy of the Cloudman. So Cloudman is, I'm assuming that's a part of the base. That's okay. Interesting. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out here. You've got this is very old school. This is very back in the days of Warhammer Fantasy. You would have something called a battle standard bearer. This is literally the same thing. This is a Yannari battle banner bearer. Is this their big release ever? It does seem like a very big release there, Barney. The wind magic is quite sick. I'll go back to the wind. That's very cool. It's an interesting head. I mean, the cape is lovely. This very cool hammer. This fan, kind of. It's who said that? Justin. It's completely monkey magic to me, and I love it. I love monkey magic. It's old school. The banner bearer is awesome. And then we've also got and then this is the alternate build. This is the alternate build to the Spirit of the Wind. So you did have the named character shown off before. This is the non-named character version. So I wonder how big that base is. No, that's nice. That's really nice. It kind of has like the elements of a Celestant Prime, but yeah, you can kind of see like it probably seems like I can only imagine it's going to be quite quick. I can see it being a solo character just running around the table, shooting off opponents, kind of like a Knight Venator almost, maybe a Super Saiyan Knight Venator. What do you guys think? What do you have to say? Wisdom is saying, I want to collect the Lumina, the bonsai bits. Yeah, they're sweet.
Another way to get hold of the rules, and we'll go into that in a bit more detail in the future.
Okay.
So if you've got the Battletome already, you don't necessarily need to buy the new one. But
so they've just said that if you've got the old Battletome, you don't necessarily have to get the new Battletome.
It's back to our faces, but only momentarily.
All right, it sounds like they're about to go back into stream. So cool. That was very cool. They will be.
Those who defy me will know only torment.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. All right. So we did talk.
Welcome back.
Go
That
back,
was
Troy.
pretty exciting. A preview of what is known as a Ghast Cruciator.
A Ghast Cruciator.
Eddie, give us the lowdown.
So that was that skull that I was
you
talking
quite
about
rightly say,
earlier.
Adam,
The skull
a
with
new
the spirit
Nighthawk
coming out
hero.
that was
It's
a
been a
Nighthawk
little
hero.
while actually since we've seen some new Nighthawk. We obviously saw a lot of them at the start of this edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar in the Soul Wars battle box, but we haven't seen a huge amount of them since. And this guy adds a very different angle to them. So you can see he looks like he means business. He looks like a pretty unpleasant fellow. And this is effectively a torturer in life whose tortures have kind of followed him into the afterlife, as Nagash obviously enjoys a little bit of irony in his punishments for his, let's call them followers, possibly /slaves. And his particular thing is to create torment and terror on the battlefield, and kind of not just kill you, but also probably torture your soul in some unpleasant and unseemly ways. So a downright unpleasant character, but a very fun model and a very a little bit different for.
It's nice.
Yeah, I think it's quite exciting.
I'm just saying if Warhammer Community is updated yet. Warhammer Community is not updated yet. So I wonder if this is just a standalone hero that will come out as a
and so I imagine
store anniversary, if it'll come up as a part of Broken Realms, or if it's going to lead into a larger release.
Lots of interesting heroes joining the factions of the Mortal Realms.
All right. So my guess is going to be is that with Broken Realms,
we have another one to show you.
Jeez. Give me some more warning, guys.
None shall question his faith. None shall stay his wrath.
So it's that Ghast Steel Soul.
Well, Adam, I know you're particularly excited about this character, so do you want to tell everyone what we've just seen?
It's Ghast.
I mean, I imagine he doesn't need much introduction to the faithful who follow the Black Library novels set in the Mortal Realms. This Ghast Steel Soul, he's the lead character in a cracking novel
this is awesome.
by Josh Reynolds.
This is lovely.
Black Pyramid. He's the leader of one of the
I love the cloak parts kind of floating up. That's just incredible. It's like
he's everything you'd want in a hero. The pose is fantastic.
This is a boss. This is a really nice model.
Eagle-eyed on
this is a really nice model.
That silhouette go out.
I'm not a big fan of Stormcast with helmets. I prefer faces. But I really like this mask. I really like it. This is, absolutely. This is a Deadpool. This is a superhero pose. This has come from Marvel Crisis Protocol. They've jumped from the sky. They've hit the ground. Concrete is just busted. And they are ready to mess up Apocalypse. This is sweet.
Faithful, as it were, or just...
So the question will be, is this a single release, or as Aethercast Lee has said, is this going to be a new dual box, maybe Aegis Sigma 3, maybe just a general dual box that's going to come out, and is it going to be an update to Stormcast versus Nighthawk, two armies that were very good for bringing new people into the hobby? Is this our Aegis Sigma 3 army? Is this Aegis Sigma 3 and our exclusive heroes that come along with it? Don't know. Sweet miniature, I can't wait to kill him. Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Superhero landing, absolutely. So this hero has come from the realm of life. So Ghast has been attacking
the realm of life,
within the realm of life. So whoever is sculpting these heads for the 40k needs to sit down with the AOS guys for a few releases. No, you keep the Aegis Sigma people with Aegis Sigma. Sorry, not sorry, 40k people. This is a great screen. I feel like GW should just forget about 40k and the other games and just stick to Aegis Sigma, because these have been awesome releases. Yeah, these are very, very cool models. These are very cool. I'm a bit nervous going to Warhammer Community just because they just had 3 rapid fire releases. So I'm just going to load up to see what else is available. All right, I'm going to quickly switch. All right, I'm going to quickly switch. Let's have a look. All right, so we've got the videos up. Yeah, this is lovely. Loving this helmet. Kind of reminds me of a little bit like the corpse cart. Oh, shit. Is that the White King? Yeah, boy. It's not a Black Knight. It's a White King. Guys, it's a White King. That's not a Blood Knight. That's sick. That's sick. That's a White King. That's not a Blood Knight. That's an old school White King.
Familiar with this character already because we have seen a version of him on.
It is very
who's been
Justin.
Available as plastic miniature for quite some time now.
It's
but
very
this
old
is
school.
a brand new incarnation of a character that stretches way back into the annals of Warhammer history.
This is
and
sick.
an incredible rendition of the character. This is a very impressive looking undead skeletal hero.
I had the old metal one.
Very, very baroque armor. All the kind of iconography you'd expect of the Death Forces with those kind of bat wings and skeleton bits and that kind of really cool layered.
So we've seen two
armor.
Death Heroes
but
already.
Just a really, really impressive miniature, really. And I think for me, there's a lot of nostalgia.
Year of Death.
A lot of harks back to some of the very old Warhammer artwork from even things like Warhammer Armies Undead and some of the artwork.
This is OG.
Finally, the
this is
miniature
awesome.
technology is kind of caught up with and delivered an absolutely stunning centerpiece hero kit.
Yeah, no doubt. So who's this for? What's the?
So this is a Soulblight character.
It's a
So he
Soulblight
will
character.
be sitting alongside leading things like Black Knights or Skeletons, and it's probably worth saying
Black
this
Knights
guy
or Skeletons.
is
Okay.
the tip of the lance of what will be a slightly expanded range of Soulblight stuff. So there is more to look forward to if you like the look of this character.
Stay tuned.
So
Stay
Skeletons
tuned.
and
Maybe
Black
even more in
Knights.
this
Okay.
preview. Who
So
knows?
they've just
We
said
might
to
be
us
more
that
coming.
in
Who
Soulblight
knows?
we're
But
going to
I
have.
think it's worth
we're
taking
gonna
a
have-
little bit of time just to.
All right. So Soulblight is going to have Black Knights, and it's going to have Skeletons. So that's going to tell me that Soulblight, the Grave Lords, is going to be a update to Legions of Nagash. So whether it's going to be the full kit, because you do have Nighthaunt, you do have some other parts in Legions of Nagash, but are we about to see this book be split out and maybe Legions of Nagash becomes 2 books and Skeletons, Black Knights, Soulblight, like the Black Knights, the Blood Knights. Yeah, okay. Your Vargeist, you could have your okay. This is really cool. I'm just refreshing the Warhammer stream. Yeah, this is neat. This is old school. Yeah, this is OG. All right. I'm gonna close this off. Well, not close it, but I'm just gonna refresh this. We can have a look at the middle properly. Yeah, this is great. So we've got Gardas. Yeah, Gardas is very nice. Just a great pose. All right, we haven't got the refresh yet. All right, I'll just go back to the Twitch. All right, they're saying it's quite a big miniature,
base,
so that's a 60 mil base, guys.
So if you remember
So
the
they've just said it's a 60 mil
I've got a
base,
couple
so
of
that's quite a big
White
base.
Kings, metal skeletal horses, which had to kind of fit within that kind of rectangle that Warhammer cavalry used to fit on. They were kind of restrained by the size that cavalry could be, but this guy definitely isn't. He's a big guy. He's going to kind of stand next to things like Dracoths and Chaos Knights and stuff like that. So he's a very impressive miniature on the tabletop. And I think, again, I just can't wait to see what people do when they paint him, because it's just so much fun texture.
All right, Coach. Coach, mate, you missed all the fun. We've had Lumineth so far. We've seen a new Stormcast hero. We've seen a new Nighthaunt hero. And we've now seen a White King. This is awesome. I'm just seeing if one of the community's updated yet. So no, we've still only got Gardas so far on Warcom. But this is awesome. This is making me excited. You guys can't see, but over here, I've got like...
There's no subtlety in that model.
I've got quite a large Death Army.
And, all the Gothic all the time.
And Cygnus Maximus.
All right, just... All right, so it's
yeah, good.
Are we going into another one?
In that case, let's get a wriggle on and see the next.
Wow, this is really rapid. This is rapid fire. That shaman is straight fire. That shaman is so cool. That is so cool. I know we've already seen part of that range. We saw Wolverine Orc and we saw the dude with the big axe, but the archer, that's sick. That is so cool. And yeah, absolutely. The pace is crazy. Usually it's like 15 minutes and they've got like, a whole big fluff piece. This is uncanny. This is so cool. Yeah, that shaman is off the charts. I'm just trying to see if Warcom updates yet, but that's just... I love it. What do you guys think? The archer, I love the archer. I love the club, and the what looks like a dragon scale cloak or some type of I don't know what monster that. It reminds me of like the cities of Sigma, like the cold ones, or maybe it's like something from Seraphon. But I love that. I love the dude with the claws. That's just reminds me of Wolverine. These guys have been tapping into Marvel Crisis. You've had Gandalf come out of Marvel. We've now had Wolverine here, and I'm loving this shaman. This shaman is so freaking cool. I'm loving that mask. I'm loving the Wargog dance. You've got a really cool scepter. Although, where is the bowstring? Where's the bowstring for the archer? This is great. Yeah, this is really cool. This will look great in an Aegis Sigma army, and it will also. I'll mute them for a second.
Maybe surprisingly for Oryx, is a warband which offers threat in multiple
I think
areas.
As Wisdom has said as well, I love that they don't look goofy.
And you've got magic.
They look
sort of a
legit.
multi-threat element, which is
they are
great for embracing
quality.
the meta of
they are
Underworlds.
all lovely sculpts. They will
well
fit
as,
into your army.
With those different textures, all that great skin area and everything.
They'll fit in your army really well. They'll be wonderful alternative heroes in your force. So yeah, they're lovely. They are so nice. And I think like Eric, I'm not a big orc player. I play goblins, I play gargants, I don't play orcs, but this is lovely. At minimum, I would pick this up and I'd be happy to paint them. I think that's where Underworlds allows you to kind of try before you buy. You know, pick up a couple of models, paint them. If you really like them, go out and buy a full kit. We're all having a massive debate right now between arrows and archers and bowstrings. But where are the bowstrings? I might just quickly switch over to Warcom. We don't need that. All right, cool. So there's our White King, guys. If you want to, there's no additional imagery for the White King, unfortunately. But overall, that is it's really nice. That's really nice. We have not had a bad release yet. These have all been great. There's not been a single model for my army, but might just pull this up now.
Bringing them into the Beast Grave is, these the Bone Splitters are just ultimate hunters. They're incredibly feral and savage, and they've come for a good time.
All right, so their lore is they're coming to the Beast Grave to have a good time. That's some solid lore there, guys. I can see that you are missing Josh Reynolds quite a lot there.
Might count as a monster, so they're like, maybe the mountain counts as a monster. Can we kill the mountain?
What kind of lore is that, guys? Come on. But this is great. Is it weird that they don't have toenails? Maybe he just didn't paint the toenails. Maybe it's just overlooked the toenails. It's an interesting pickup there, Chris. I can't believe... Yeah, we've only been 35 minutes into the stream, and this has just been straight fire. This has just been pow, 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 pow. When you realize there's no Gravelord reveals. I mean, we've already had one. The White King. Victor, let's pause. It's been 35 minutes, and we've seen Lumineth, we've seen a White King, we've seen a Stormcast hero, we've seen a Nighthaunt hero, and we've now seen a Bone Splitters force. I think that's pretty good for 35 minutes. End times level lore. Yeah, that's great. That's the background for, my D&D characters are always like the Goliath, like I'm here for a fight. Like, awesome. That's like 10 out of 10 role playing there. Warcom still hasn't updated. I'm just keeping an eye on. Yeah, bowstrings or no bowstrings, that is the question. I like my bowstrings. I'm a big fan of bowstrings. Oh. Okay.
How could I forget?
I'll unmute them.
You explained this one to me really well before we began, Eddie, but what we're looking at here is a Warhammer Underworlds starter set, right?
That is exactly right. So this is Warhammer Underworlds has been out for quite a long time now, and there's loads of different warbands and cards and things that you can choose to get if you want. And if you've been with us since the start of Warhammer Underworlds, it's been a great journey. And
is it just a re-release?
We've had loads of fun with it and loads of ways to play, and you've now got loads of cards and things to choose from. But if you're wanting to jump into Warhammer Underworlds, there is a lot of things you could potentially explore.
So it's a re-release.
This box is meant to be like a really easy way for you to jump into a really great game system. It has two complete...
Any chance for a Nighthaunt book? I think that's going to be an interesting one because there's
no deck building necessarily.
You've got some Nighthaunt models in Legions of the Gash.
So for the Stormcast and
I don't know what they're going to do with Nighthaunt.
And you can play immediately. You can use those cards if you want to kind of expand out.
And if they do expand the range with that hero, and maybe there's other stuff that's going to come, then Nighthaunt actually might
be. If you want to and you enjoy this set, you can obviously
I wouldn't be too far away.
Wider,
yeah, we absolutely still have Cursed City.
Add whatever factions and expansions and new cards.
There's also a Stormcast Warband.
But as a kind of first step into the dangers of the Warhammer Underworlds, this starter set is designed to be a very easy, accessible way in without needing to worry too much about what the meta of Warhammer Underworlds is necessarily up to in a given week or month.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a solid way if you've.
If you like Underworlds, I found the pace of just keeping up with cards too difficult, and I didn't want to be buying every single warband, so I kind of fell out of Underworlds. But if you like it, and if it's a game that you could see yourself playing, then this is great. This is awesome, and they just keep bringing out really cracking models.
Competitive miniatures game.
And I think crucially as well, it will cost you less than the core sets for Warhammer.
Sadly,
well. So it's a nice, easy,
accessible in both the ways. It's a cheaper introduction to Underworlds.
You don't need to know anything else about the game to enjoy it and play it, and also in the sense that
So the mob of Mork is what they're called. So it doesn't look like there's an image here. Oh, here we go. Oh, I think we might be. All right.
We are left with, I think, the biggest section of our presentation still to go.
All right. Is this the last one?
If you thought we had a lot to show you in the Luminous section, wait till you get a load of this.
All right. I need a big screen. Oh, no. What's that? Wizard? Necromancer? Hey, damn. What on earth was that?
My flabber is ghastly, my mind is
So,
blown.
so we obviously know that is Warhammer
Quest.
Quest.
City.
We know it's a
Wow.
Warhammer Quest. I'm waiting to see if
so
Warhammer
this
community,
is
community
Warhammer Quest
updates.
Cursed City, the brand new installment in the Warhammer Quest box game series. This is set in the cursed city of Ulthunkhan, which we know already, and we see a band of heroes, 8 heroes I think we have in this box, facing off against the forces of a cursed city led by a family of vampires, but with all the kind of accompanying undead, shambling, bone-based or rotting minions you would normally expect. Absolutely loads of stuff in this box. There's all the stuff you'd expect from a Warhammer Quest. We've seen things with this like Blackstone Fortress before, comparable amount of things, but I think when we were looking at this box, Adam, we were both kind of thinking this might be the best game in a box that we've ever made.
Yeah,
I'm furiously reloading Warcom, trying to wait for these images to come up so we can have a proper look
This is one of your catchphrases.
at the various heroes.
Just blows my mind.
This is incredible.
Like we'll cover this all in more detail, right, guys? So don't panic. We'll spend plenty of time on this set. But everything you see in there is in the set, and everything you see in the set is just awesome. It's hundreds of hours worth of
8 heroes
building,
is
painting,
heaps.
and
I
playing,
do wonder though,
waiting
is it
to
going
be
to price?
unpackaged
Is that
and
going to
enjoyed
jack
with your
up the
friends.
price significantly? That's my only
And
concern.
it's built on
with 8 heroes,
a modified version of, but the really solid foundation of the Warhammer Quest game that you'll know from things like Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Blackstone Fortress over the last few years.
Come on, Warcom.
I'm very much looking forward to jumping into a brand new setting. So I think we can probably start to have a look at some of the
Raph,
cool. Let's look at the models. All right.
So, as Eddie alluded to, there are in fact 8 hero models contained within the set. Each of them has their own identity and their own character, and they're all awesome and give you just a little bit more of an insight into the Mortal Realms. I've got the names in front of me. Do you know who these ones all are?
You can take the names, Adam.
My problem is sometimes matching the name to the person. I definitely know, for example, Jelson Darroch first on our left. So he's, you can introduce who he is.
So we know a little bit about him already. He was the first model we saw for this box set. He is a witch hunter / demon hunter / vampire hunter, and as you can see, he is kitted out for the job. He has a whole bunch of stakes, including a stake rifle. And
those stakes explode. I think they're made of
things. He's got a hammer.
They're made of wood from action.
And he is. If you imagine that the witch hunters of the Mortal Realms are some of the most unpleasant and
Wistmore, that was the first look we've seen on the board.
Was kicked out of the
the
order
board
for being
looks
too
the same
extreme. You get a sense of
the first
kind of
Warhammer
guy
Quest.
that this guy might be. So he
it does look like Silver
takes no
Tower.
prisoners.
If anyone did play Silver Tower,
so
he's a mean piece of work.
And I think he's for many people the favorite.
If I know, so the last time they had Warhammer Quest, let's pause this for a second. Last time they had Warhammer Quest, the heroes were all able to be used in Aegis Sigma. They all had war scrolls. They all had points. Most of them, unfortunately, didn't synergize with the armies because, and they're still in the GW app. If you look at Elf, for example, I might just See if this works, guys. I'll see if this works. But if you can see the two elves at the top, those two elves came from they all came from Silver Tower.
Stock.
So
That
Dag
is true.
Knight Holdenstock
no,
is the
sorry, I
second
think-
one.
Wait.
No,
That's the
the third one.
Right, in that case, how about... is this Glario Van Alten the Third?
That is him,
There you
yeah.
go.
So
Glario
this guy
Alton
is
the
effectively a
Third.
noble from the city of Ulfankhan, and the lore, which we'll obviously dive into in much more detail
Okay.
of Ulfankhan, is that there were several kind of noble bloodlines which ruled the city. One of them was the vampire bloodline, which effectively overtook the city in a night of bloodshed and murder that kind of killed the other noble houses and ascended to.
Yep.
There was a coup, basically a
Yeah,
vampire-based coup.
I agree.
This guy was one of the sons of one of the other noble houses and is the last surviving member of his bloodline. So he does not like the vampires who were in charge of the city one bit right now.
The
Chaos
chat's gone
Dwarves, I
wild
reckon
with how
they're
much
probably a
swag
good
he's
2
got,
to
which
3
I
years
think
away.
He's got a lot of swagger. So
I think they're 2 or 3
he
years
has
away.
heirloom weapons, basically, of his ancestral house, which kind of trace their way back to the age of myth. So he's got kind of
I think they will learn their lesson from the last Silver Towers, and I think they will probably roll it into Aegis Sigma better.
Like he's got some pretty
Whether
heavy
it's through
juicy armor
Broken
at the
Realms
same
or
time as
whether
looking
it's
like he's
some type of
very well
keyword
dressed.
synergy,
I
I
love
can
the kind
see.
of,
I can see
juxtaposition
them
of the,
aligned to Cities of Sigma at minimum.
the air of kind of aristocracy that he's got, but at the same time looking like he would probably mess you up in a duel.
Yeah, he also it has to
Yeah,
be
these
said,
are great.
somebody in the chat
These are
has
great.
as well.
I'm just waiting to
There's
see
a
if
little bit of a
Warcom.
shade of Yana Strake in here.
My
as
Warcom's
well.
still not
And that
updating it,
sits
so I
really
can't
nicely
bring
for
up
me.
the
It's like
images.
he's
But
sort of, his
I
cousin
really
from
dig
across
these.
the,
This
Cosmos
to
or
me
whatever.
is getting
I
me
love it.
very excited
There's
to look at
the thing
Warhammer
that I
Quest.
we've gone further.
I'm
gonna
loving
say
that
one more thing
ogre.
then
That
before we
reminds
jump
me
in.
of a
So the
Mordheim.
thing that I really like
There was
about
a
him
pit
is he
fighter. There was
reminds
like an
me
ogre
of
pit fighter.
the Imperial Noble from the very first Warhammer
Yes.
Quest ever.
Yeah.
Yes,
Who was in
alright.
that kind of super fancy, pompous outfit. But Warhammer Age of Sigma'd up, so it looks like he much more kind of serious.
I love the
and gritty, but still
Kurnothi.
has
The
kind of
Kurnothi
air of
archer.
nobility of
Please
that
give me
character. But
more
anyway, let's talk about
Kurnothi.
these three.
Please,
So,
more
first up,
Kurnothi.
starting at the left, we have Qualthis the Exile.
Yeah, so this
Hunter.
is a Kurnothi hunter. We've seen a little bit of the Kurnothi already. We saw them in Beastgrave. We know they have
So Gobbo,
connections to the realm of beasts and the realm of life.
I think this is an order
Kurnoth, is
ogre.
the
I don't
elven
think
god
this
of
is
the
a.
hunt who may or may not.
I don't
still
think
be
this is
around.
a beast claw raider or like a dad bod ogre. This is back in like Mordheim, back in many of the other Warhammer Fantasy sideboard games. You'd have ogres that were a part of the cities, and this to me looks like an ogre from the cities. So there's no gut plate. So no, I don't think it's an ogre hero, guys. I think it is a order ogre, not destruction ogre. So like a mercenary, it's like a mercenary. The Empire used to have ogres back in the day. Like I said, old Warhammer Quest, Mordheim, they were all mercenary ogres. So KO without a helmet.
This is Brutal
Love it.
Corpse Eater. He's an ogre.
I'm a little
of the
confused
Northern Fist
with
clan.
the ogre. I love it. I love the ogre. I think
Yes.
it's
He's a slab
more of a
of meat to death,
civilized
to be honest.
ogre.
Yeah,
that
and I think
lives in
his
a
official
city
name
as opposed to
is
one.
Corpse Eater, which
Yeah.
might imply
Corpse
why he
Eater.
turned up at the cursed city, which is full of undead. Ogre's obviously famous for just being super hungry all the time, and this particular guy has a particular taste for the undead, so he's slightly less wholesome reason to be showing up to save the city maybe than some of the other heroes. But we'll take it. We'll take it. That's fine.
My understanding is he once won a bet and ever since has enjoyed the taste of the undead, and he quite literally wants to eat Radukar.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
we need to.
That's
just
so
quickly
cool.
Give, poor old Dagnar Holdenstock, the trade commodore, his due. And as somebody in the chat pointed out, yes, he has a bear head, which is unusual for a Caradron. He's still
Caradron Lee over here is
he's also
loving,
got like a
loving the
harpoon
trench
gun
coat.
and an
Yeah.
axe, which is just
And
cool.
is that a scale at the
and
top?
then one of
Is
the
that a
things
scale
that's
that we've got?
interesting about this character is that the mechanism that your heroes use to arrive at the city.
Yeah,
is
could they
in
be
a
mercenaries?
Caradron vessel, and he is the captain.
That could be a part of the new mercenary company.
That's my understanding as well.
He's a pretty cool character, but it's just really nice to see a new hero level Caradron character that's very different from anything we've seen previously.
All right, I'm going to stop the stream.
Rolling. We have two slightly more eldritch.
Cool. All right, the Warcom has been
first of
updated,
all, I
guys.
guess
So
would
I'm
be,
gonna swap this out.
He says,
Mute
and then has
them.
to
and I'll refresh. So we've got a very cool. Here we go. So we've got the box game. So I'll see if I can zoom in a little and see what we can. So we're getting the box. We're going to get ourselves the 8 heroes. Got ourselves a rule book and quest book. War scroll cards. Okay, there we go, guys. We've got a war scroll book. So this is where how we're going to integrate into Aegis Sigma, which is awesome. Got some interesting objective markers. We've got our 42 hostiles. So I guess our enemy units, dice, boards, tokens, cards, secret envelope. I'll just go up here to the heroes first. Yep. So what have we got? So we've got I can't. Oh, come on, give me the arrow. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So we've got says that KO. Yeah, that's awesome. So there's a Kanothi. This is kind of free guildish, but not very, very odd. That's like a wizard. Is that like a Cities of Sigma style wizard? That to me reminds me of, if anyone who played Mordheim back in the day, you had the Sisters of Sigma, which is like a nun priesthood, and they would go out into Mordheim and try to banish the dead. This reminds me of Sisters of Sigma, and a little bit like I was going to say SOB, Sisters of Battle. So yeah, Sisters of Sigma. That's what to me this reminds me of. This is an updated Sisters of Sigma, which was my Mordheim gang. So I'm chuffed. This is brilliant. This is our ogre. We've seen the ogre. But let's look at our beasties. Let's look at what the beasties are. So we've got new bats, bat swarms, bats, which is awesome. We've got rats, undead rats. That is sweet. Are they? What are they? It's got some skeleton guards. This reminds me of they're not the elite they're not Graveguard. They kind of remind me of Graveguard, but kind of don't. They're obviously the city guard. That's I love that. Hopefully there's more than just 2. I mean, these would be really nice to be alternative skeletons in my Legions of the Gash army. Yep, cool. So we've got a couple of different builds. They're all got this weird lean though. They're all leaning. Why are they all weird on one side? Can't anyone stand up straight? Yeah, cool. Dig it. And there's our zombies. So we've got new zombies. We have new zombies. So these are all zombies on how they were buried. So you've got the tombstones and you've got a whole bunch of things. And they've just come out of the grave. They've all risen from the grave, probably shallow graves. And is that what? Yeah, okay. This is great. What do you guys think? This is really cool. I'm very curious to see how these all integrate with Aegis Sigma, especially the undead guys. I'm very curious to see. Surely they have, with the Blight, with Soulblight, surely they've had to think about this in advance. Surely they've had to integrate this properly, because as a Legions player, I'm looking at new skeletons, new zombies, I'm looking at heroes. Surely I can integrate them into my force. Then the skeleton straight out of Michael Jackson. Yeah, they got these weird lean. What's with the lean?
The wolf.
Ratikar the wolf.
Initially was the savior of Ulfenkarn when he showed up to protect the city from a rampaging horde of chaos monsters, but eventually obviously corrupted the city entirety and made it his own personal feeding ground. These are some of the ogres that he brought with him when he saved that city the first time.
These are undead ogres.
Effectively massive undead ogres, which is a thing I don't think we've ever seen before.
Undead
Maybe
ogres?
And it's horrible. They're called the Kosagi Night Guard.
Kosagi Night Guard.
Yeah, I think these are sort of
undead ogres. They're very
level. If you imagine, we've sort of gone through the sliding
because your ogres, like especially your Beast Claw Raiders, they have like this Mongolian style feel.
Yeah, what I really like about them is
I look at this and like that's what screams to me. This screams like
so
Mongol.
I imagine there's like a door at some point you probably have to break down
This is
to
awesome.
get to the next
This
level.
is so
and this
cool.
guy is the kind of the gatekeeper which you have to take down.
There was
to get those keys off him.
In old Warhammer
and also
Fantasy
that rat's
Battles,
got
there
a
used
key,
to
so
be
maybe I can
this
kill
Dogs of War unit.
So
keeps
now
going.
we
Just keeps going.
So people have been screaming for vampires. Vampires you want, vampires you get.
What?
So these are the vampiric offspring of the vampiric bloodline. They are more feral, perhaps, than we'd be familiar with, and certainly more feral than the warriors that we've seen. Some of the other Soulblights recently for Warhammer Underworlds. But these are kind of half bestial, quick-moving feeders that will kind of run around the city, prowling on the citizens and giving your heroes a hard time.
Feral
they will
vampires.
be deadly as anyone with the Soulblight curse will be, and will hunt as a kind of bestial pack. And if you think about them as like a wolf pack of vampires, you probably won't go too far wrong.
This is sick.
Yeah, and so they're called the Bloodborne, and as you say, these are feral and nasty. They're essentially they haven't learned to
feral and nasty.
So
they're kind of not quite fleshy to quartz, but they are
state yet,
certainly not fancy
maybe
pants.
They never will.
I really like that one.
Who else have we got, Raph? So this is the penultimate of our evil hero section for.
That reminds me of like a that could be an awesome Vargulf.
Very distinct heroes here.
Because the Vargulf model is so old.
Perhaps, against the trend, who is Watch Captain Halgrim.
Yeah, so we've seen this character already. This is basically one of your end of level bosses for Cursed City, and he is the leader of the Ulfin Watch, which we've seen previously. His particular background is pretty grim. We've hinted at a little bit of already. He wanted
I'm loving
to
that.
side
I'm loving
with the
that.
uprising of the
What
vampires
essentially looks like a bestial.
But the rest of the City Watch didn't think that was too good an idea, so they killed him and threw him in the Storm Drain.
Yeah, it looks Strigoli, but if you look at the current Vargulf model, it's hot garbage. It's so old. It's so disgusting. People are always looking for an alternative version of the Vargulf.
A tragic, but
that right there is perfect Vargulf
backstory. As he is both a traitor and also a skeleton.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, Craig. Maybe Soulblight aren't restricted solely bats anymore. Maybe the Bloodlines are tied to
now that we've seen those
a different model.
Those
maybe.
other zombies. So if you imagine that he's the guy who goes through the graveyard on a recruitment drive,
fancy coming for a walk.
Yeah, fancy coming for a walk. You guys with me? Let's go. So he will be the leader of that particular gaggle of unpleasant, rotting enemies that you'll need.
I dig it. I'm just going to close this off. I'm going to go back to, we can see the model. Yeah, this is great. I dig it. What's this? Oh, we've got more. We're kind of sneaking ahead, guys. So we've got some more of essentially the bad guy heroes. The Varg scare is called. They're calling it a Varg scare.
Archetype, I suppose, with the Soulblight, which is if your bloodlust gets the better of you, or maybe you don't manage to feed for long enough, the bestial nature of the Soulblight curse will manifest fully. And this is basically what that looks like. So you turn into a kind of weird wolf bat monster thing.
So if you go too far in the feeding frenzy and you don't keep control of your blood hunger or your bloodlust, that's when you turn into
any
this
sense of kind of
vampiric
sentience
beast.
has been banished from its brain, and it will just hunt like a dark predator through the streets. And if your heroes come across it, as you would imagine from something of that scale, it's going to take your whole war.
By the way, loving these rats.
Yep.
These are so
and
cool.
We ain't
that's so
done
cool.
Yet. Boom. So what we have here is essentially the evil power behind the trouble in Ulfenkhan and his sinister right hand. So the right hand first, that is Torgilius the Chamberlain.
Torgilius the Chamberlain,
who used to be somebody much more noble before this all went wrong.
Yeah, so he used to be the kind of
A lot of
right hand
ogres by
the
looks of it.
nobility,
There's a
but,
lot of ogres
has
being
since
shown off
fallen
here.
to the vampiric curse. And his particular thing is that he can see and control all the various vermin.
Yeah, I'm absolutely
undead,
loving this
demi-undead
left-hand model as
creatures
well.
of
This
Ulfencon,
model with
so
the
he can
raven,
watch
the
you through
candle,
the
I
eyes of
think a bat
ravens
hanging
and
off
follow
it, some
you
type
through
of
the
dog
eyes of
creature.
rats and bats and things around the city. So he is
Very
his eyes everywhere. Basically, he is the spider at the center of that
and
web
I love those
information
wolves
in the
as well.
city.
I
So
love
he
this
knows all
wolf
the
cloak.
things. He knows where the citizens are, and he knows
Looks
what the
quite
heroes are
tall.
up to,
I wonder if that's
and will do
another
whatever he can
ogre.
to stop you getting to the other
Very
guy.
saber kind of sword.
And the other guy is Radukar the Wolf. He is the
Radukar.
tyrannical master of Ulfencon, the despotic vampire behind this whole sort of cruel state of affairs.
Yeah, both a vampire and an ogre, which I think
A vampire
is,
ogre. There you go. I
first
called
as well.
it vampire ogre.
He has a really interesting aesthetic, actually, which is completely different from any of the Soulblight aesthetics we've maybe seen before. It kind of gives you a hint of the wider universe of the Mortal Realms, that actually all sorts of weird and wonderful things are possible. He's got a very kind of interesting look. He's obviously got the kind of huge pelts of the wolves on there that are kind of hint of
Eddie,
the
get it out. Get it out.
eventual fate, perhaps,
Eddie.
of some of the vampires who fall to the curse of the Soulblight and become kind of bestial creatures eventually. But he has almost a kind of Eastern Russian-y sort of look, doesn't he? So
it's very much inspired by the same sort of things that I guess gave birth once upon a time to things like Kislev and so on. You can see a little
Douglas,
bit of the
Douglas, you called
there,
it.
or,
They've just said,
Ukrainian or
it to me feels very Mongol.
And I think
from
what it does is
Mongolia,
it gives him just
which
this
is obviously so very
incredible
close to
aesthetic.
China, and
People
then
versed
obviously
in
close to
that,
Russia. So
sort of,
it does give
wax
me those
more lyrical.
feels. I love
for
it.
me, my favorite thing is
the
this
wolf dude is an
double
ogre.
wolf
It's
pelt.
an
Those
ogre
wolf
vampire,
skulls are
which is
enormous.
pretty sweet.
There's a real
Elias.
sort of sense of
Elias is going to
kind
start a
of the
40k army soon.
monstrousness
Yeah,
that the
sorry,
Mortal
mate. Just
Realms, has
just
in store.
cut that idea
all
altogether.
tied
This
up
is
in
awesome.
and this is going to be your final
I'm
challenge,
digging this
basically. If
lore.
you make
I
it through
love
the
that
Cursed
they.
City all the way to
So
the
what I was,
throne room
I
of
might
the
just pause
beast
it for a
itself.
second. What I was saying earlier was that there was this old Warhammer Fantasy unit called the Curse Company, which was a part of Dogs of War, which is like a mercenary army, and they had this skeleton army, the Curse Company or the Curse Legion. And it was a skeleton unit, but it was filled up with skeletons from all across the old world. You had a lizardman skeleton, you had an orc skeleton, you had a dwarf skeleton, you had human skeletons. And I think one of the things that I've really kind of annoyed me is that the current skeleton range is only humans. Like, where are the orcs? Where are the seraphon? Where are the goblins? Where are all these other different skeletons? So I'm loving that they're bringing some different styles to the game. And I love that, as Coach is saying here, Coach Polito, is that they are pushing the Soulblight into other things like ogres. They are trying different things with the Soulblight keyword. I love this. Kislev, to me, I love Kislev. I'm glad Total War Warhammer is bringing them in as a proper, solid faction. We absolutely saved your Elias. Don't worry about. Got a novel coming as well. Awesome. 60 models. Yeah, it's a chunky book. It's a chunky box, sorry. So have they got pictures of the other 8 objectives? No. No. I'll reload it, Lee, but I didn't see. Give me one sec. No, I can't see any more images of the objectives. It's just the 2 objectives of the 8. Sorry, of the 10. Sorry, you get 10 objective markers. I wonder if it's just 5 and they've repeated it. So, which is great. So they've just confirmed that book is for the heroes to be integrated into Aegis Sigma. Okay. So they've just said, yep. So they've just said that you can integrate those heroes. We might be finished. I think we're finished, guys.
Normally at this stage in the thing, I would sort of
let's hold on. Let's hold on.
All of
see,
the awesome things that we've done.
They're saying they're tired.
more Lumineth than you can shake a very finely wrought.
Sounds like
Elven
they're trying to
blade
summarize to
out,
me.
with new heroes and warriors and the most dynamic looking.
When will Curse City be available? We don't know.
Got a new hero
Normally,
for the
with
Nighthawk
these
and
types of
Crusader,
previews, they will
Guard of
only
Steel
show
Soul
things that are
literally
coming up
dropping
in the
out of
next
the
3
sky and
months.
landing in the most
So
dynamic hero
you
post
can
going.
only assume that
The
this
White
stuff is
King,
going to drop in the next 3
channeling
months.
all
So
that
what's
sort
that?
of
February
awesome
up
old
to
school
probably end
Warhammerness.
of May. So
The
sometime
Mad Mob
between now and
for,
May would be the
Warhammer
proper
Underworld,
guess.
and then just
Warhammer YouTube just put up a trailer for
was
something that they
Warhammer
haven't
Quest
shown on the
for Curse
stream
City,
yet.
fully unveiled
Was
for the
that
first time.
on?
I'm
Okay,
blown away. What was
I'll
your
have a
favourite
look,
bit?
Anthony. I'll see what I
mean,
can find.
it's very difficult to pick a favorite. I think, like a lot of people, I am very, very excited about.
Anthony, where was that? Was that on?
I think almost any one of those miniatures, the heroes and some of the bad guys there, could be my favorite miniature of the year, and they all come in a box set together. So I think in terms of the amount of
find this
amount of
extra
fun I'm going to
secret
get out
video.
of any of those releases, the Cursed City is probably going to be that one. I do have a very soft spot for anything green.
Let me see if I can
so
find.
I am also
Let
quite
me know what else you think,
and I'll
guys.
probably buy it twice so I
is
can make them
this-
into some weird other Age of Sigma and 40k based things.
Yeah, no doubt. It's got to be
Yes.
Gardus if
Oh,
I'm picking
oh my
one
God. Okay,
particular
all right.
thing for me.
All right, I'm going to pause the
but-
stream, guys, because I
thought it might have been.
Anthony has
But I
just
was so
pointed
excited
something.
about
sexy.
Blackstone Fortress and the Cursed City.
Anthony, you're a
is
good man.
Everything to me that Blackstone Fortress was again.
All right,
and I can't
guys.
wait.
Check.
So that one is.
I'm going to pause this. Oops.
But it looked like you had a different
I'm
favorite.
gonna mute the
so if
Twitch,
we want to go
guys.
to the
I was their first
Fucking
son,
Be'lakor.
the Prince of Demons, Herald of Kings, cursed to crown my inferiors. My vengeance will come.
It's fucking Be'lakor. All right, I'll pause that. I'll see what these guys are. Lol, they're still talking about not Be'lakor. So
For
we
an hour.
just got a
That's literally
preview
my
thanks to.
Super. Right. Well, in that case, all that remains is for us to sign off, to thank you ever so much for joining us, and to leave you with one last little thing.
Sneaky
It's
bastards.
been a pleasure. We'll see you soon.
Sneaky bastards.
I was their first son, the Prince of Demons, Herald of Kings, cursed to crown my inferiors. My vengeance will.
What did I say at the start of the stream, guys? Before we started, I said Be'lakor. I said Be'lakor. I said Be'lakor. Yes. That's sick. That is sick. That is so cool. So, what have we got? So, I'll mute the site. That's amazing. That is so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, the straight up model of the year. Hands down, this is pretty incredible. This is so cool. So let's go to the top of the stream, guys. It is 2 a.m. here in Australia. So I will, I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are. I will, let's do a bit of a session recap. Or my computer could just have a freeze. Come on, buddy. Come on. Might just stop screen sharing for a second. And let's share. We'll try this again. So let's share this screen. There we go. Perfect. We're back. So what do we got? What do we got here? So we started off the stream. We said earlier that it would be an Aegis Sigma with an Underworlds and a Warhammer Quest. And boy, oh boy, did it not disappoint. I am so glad that I stayed up to watch this. So we started off with Luminous Realm Lords, and we saw, actually, I might just, close it off. We saw Luminous Realm Lords. The Luminous Realm Lords showed off a whole bunch of new models. Now, for anyone who doesn't know this yet, if you haven't ordered from Games Workshop in the last 24 to 48 hours, when you log on to Games Workshop, there is a redirect, and it redirects you to My Warhammer. Now, My Warhammer is how the 40K guys sign into their 40K app, and they can pay a monthly subscription to get access to books. the reason I bring this up is they made a comment to say that you didn't have to go and buy the new. If you have the old Battletome, this is not going to be obsolete, or they're not going to obsolete you. There is a way to get all your rules and stuff. And I think that's what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of months if Aegis Sigma gets brought into the My Warhammer, and we can pay a small monthly fee to get access to a whole bunch of new stuff. But we did see a whole bunch of new heroes. We saw what I was saying Swordmasters. It's not the Swordmasters. It's the Hoeth guys, the whatever they call the big greatsword high elves. But we've got some new sword style Lumineth, which is really, really cool. I love this aesthetic. While I do like the hammers, I think elves with swords are just so much better. We saw a new bolt thrower. We saw a brand new bolt thrower, and that screams to me. It screams to me high elves. High elves have always had ballistas. They're called ballistas, not bolt throwers. And for anyone who likes strings on their bows, we have 3 strings on the bolt thrower. So the ballista, which is really sweet. I'm a big fan of that one. We had this terrain piece. Now, we don't know what the terrain piece does, but it sounds like it is going to reward your magic casters for being on top of it, tapping into the air and the water and the different elements, which will be fascinating. I think even if I just picked it up as a terrain piece, it looks lovely, and I can see that it's got these little different reference points to hold the model up. This is gorgeous. This is so nice, so nice. We have the second edition of the character. So we saw this character before, and this character, when we previously saw the character, it was the unnamed character. It was just the generic build. But we now have the alternate build, which is the hand of Tyrion. So this is the 2IC, the homie to Tyrion, which is absolutely fascinating. We've seen these 2 kits. I can bring up the names on Warcom, guys. Apologies if I'm not actually using the proper names. The Swords of Silence. Thanks, Justin. You are the chat's got me. So the Swords of Silence. I could just read it, I guess. I could probably bring it up from this. I'll bring up another screen so I look like I know what I'm talking about. All right. Cool. Is it Eliana and Elithor, so Eliana and Elithor, which is almost like a young Tyrion and Teclis. So back in the day when they were the twins, these are the new twins. So pretty cool. Got ourselves this particular hero. I can't see the name of the hero, but what's important is this was an artifact chaser that is holding a staff very similar to Teclis and a sword very similar to Tyrion. So it's almost like representative of the council. So again, Lumineth, you got yourself some cool models. I didn't catch this guy's name, but what's more important is we have the Cloudman. We have dude on Cloud. We have Monkey Magic himself, Lawseeker. Thanks, Autumn. I'm trying to navigate the chat, and it's 2:00 in the morning. Much love. Thank you for the support. We have Cloudman. Autumn, you can tell me the name. We do have a new book coming, so we have a new Battletome coming. So let's see the impacts and how this is all going to work together. We do have a new Nighthaunt hero. So we have the Nighthaunt hero. So we have the cool Ghast Crucillator, which someone poured Agrax. What? All right, so we have a new Nighthaunt hero coming. So we don't know where this coming or how this is coming. We don't know if this is going to be a part of a box set or if this will be a standalone model or if it's going to be a Games Workshop anniversary model. But all we know is we've got a new Nighthaunt hero on the way. And we've also got a new Stormcast hero. Anyone who's read Plague Garden or any familiarity with the Hallowed Knights will know Guardian Steel Soul. So Guardian Steel Soul is taking its best leaf out of a superhero's book with an absolute awesome power stance. So I am digging this particular model. We've got ourselves an old school White King. So this is really for anyone who's OG like me. Well, actually, I don't know if that is a cloud stand. When I look at that, if I scroll back to the Cloudman, I don't know. That might be a part of the model. that might let's see if that's a part of the model or if that's a flight stand. I don't know. I mean, obviously bends like a flight stand, but it's very similar to this kind of little point. So maybe it's not a part of the flight stand. So we do have the new Stormcaster hero. We do have a new White King. So this White King is a part of the Gravelords. This is going to be Soulblight Gravelords. So we know that for a fact. So that was very, very cool. And they did mention to us that that there would be some alignment, or you'd be able to synergize with skeletons and with Black Knights. So sounds to me that we're starting to see some of the roster reveal of what Soulblight's going to look like. And maybe there is going to be this skeletal side, and then maybe some of the other vampire-y sides, whether it's going to be Black Knights and things like that. We did see the new Underworld's Warband for the what's it called? The Mob of Mork. So it's a Bone Splitter style. I absolutely love this particular War Chanter. We obviously saw Wolverine. We also saw this amazing Flintstone style of, so it was a Savage Orc bow without a string. But to me, I absolutely dig. I can see this being in every big Warg and Bone Splitter force. So this is amazing. And by the way, thanks for everyone who's hung out with me. I will be wrapping up very, very soon because I do want to go to bed. And I'll be streaming as well in about 10 hours' time. So I'll be doing another video with Domus on running an event. We saw Curse City. We see a whole bunch of reveals for the Curse City. There are so many heroes. I think they said there were 8 different heroes here for the Warhammer Quest Curse City. And it's just beautiful. There's just so many cool models. I love this Kurnothi model, but you have just a whole bunch of different ranges. I can see this being a part of all Cities of Sigma. This reminds me again of the Sisters of Sigma, which was a Mordheim warband back in the day. Absolutely dig this model. We've got this ogre, very, very cool ogre without a gut plate. I'm actually a little bit surprised we didn't see more of the Grave Lords, but I think that might have to do with the fact that, look, I don't know if you guys have followed this, but they've had some big delays. Games Workshop had some pretty big delays in America as well as in Europe. So I would imagine that they were going to release, look, my intel or my guess would have been Grave Lords would have dropped around May. I get the feeling that might be pushed back because of just how COVID's kind of being handled at the moment. So I think that's why they didn't kind of show. They didn't show the more of the Soulblight. But to me, yeah, I love, as RC said, I love this old school design. Absolutely love this old school design. We did see a whole bunch of the baddies from Warhammer Quest. We see the zombies. We see bat swarms or some type of bat. Some undead rats, which is just sweet. We saw these ogres, these zombie ogres, which is just extraordinary. We see a whole bunch of armored skeletons, the city guard, which is just, I love it. They're very Instagram kind of poses. You could put them all together like an Instagram and selfies, which is really, really cool. And then we got to see some of the heroes. So we got to see some of the different various bads. It was a Var something. It's not Var Ghoul, but it was a Var something. So this is when a vampire kind of feeds into the blood feast for too long, and they become more feral. Look, either way, go check out Warcom. You can see more about the different reveals. And then we saw finally Be'lakor. So I might end the stream here. Let's actually have a look to see how we went. So I might highlight this. Did we see anything about a previously owned army? No. Endless Spells? No. Ossiarch Bone Reapers? No. Black Library? Yeah, we did see the book. So we got to see the new Curse City book. Idoneth Zipkin Warband? No. Broken Realms Gordrak? No. We saw Warhammer Quest, the good guys. We didn't see the Battletome. We didn't see Blood Knights. We didn't see Broken Realms Nagash. We didn't see Old World. We saw Stormcast. We saw Terrain. We saw Kurnothi. No, we didn't see that. We saw that, and we saw that. We kind of saw that. We did see some updated zombies. I'm going to take that. We did see Lumineth. We did see an update to the Finecast. We did see Be'lakor. So that's pretty sweet. We didn't see that. We did see that. We did see that. We did see that. And we did see that. So we didn't get any any bingo, but I think that was pretty close, guys. I think that's very close. But it is now 2:30 in the morning, so I am going to log off here, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you liked the video, press like, do all the YouTubey stuff, but it's too late for me in the morning to worry about that stuff. But guys, continue the conversation in Discord. If you want to chat about the reveals, go, please, link is below on this video or any other of my videos. Continue the conversation. Let me know what you think. Chat about the reveals and what it possibly means. I'm really excited, especially about things like the I think for me, my favorite reveal was the armored white. I love that. I love the armored white. Again, it's a very classic model to me, something that I haven't seen in such a long time. I've always wanted the White Kings to get an update, so I'm glad that they got an update. So I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, and I hope to see you again in the chat real soon. See you guys.